As the evil of Null and Carnage spreads throughout New York City, not even Miles Morales will be safe from their corruption. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 1 and find out. Alrighty then, so this brand new 3-part tie-in miniseries begins with Miles going shoe shopping. You know, I gotta say, I like this idea that Miles is ultimately way more stylish than Peter Parker was at his age or in his career as Spider-Man. Just even the idea of spending upwards of $300 on shoes would never have crossed Peter's mind, but for Miles, it's a real thing. Miles' sneakerhead daydream, however, ends up getting interrupted when an armored car gets robbed by Mac Gargan, a.k.a. classic Spider-Man foe, the Scorpion. Miles quickly suits up and gets ready to deal with the threat, and in a nice bit of continuity, we're reminded that, hey, this is the first time these two characters have ever crossed paths before, and the Scorpion is none too impressed by Spider-Man, calling him the fake Brooklyn Spider-Man, the rip-off Spider-Man Jr. It's nothing Miles hasn't heard before, and in fact, this isn't even the first time he as Spider-Man has tangled with one of Peter's old foes. Spider-Man is quick to show off how different he is than any other hero Gargan has ever faced before by pulling out some of his new abilities like the Venom Blast. In a fun and unexpected twist, it doesn't affect Scorpion. Why? Well, because his suit is padded. I mean, you're not going to sting a Scorpion, are you? With his ace out the window, it looks like Spider-Man and Gargan are just going to have a good old-fashioned superhero super-villain fist fight, and it's left up in the air exactly who is the better combatant here. Yes, Miles is younger, but Gargan has more experience, and he's been getting punched by superheroes basically longer than Miles has been alive, so he knows how to take a licking and keep on ticking. Ultimately, though, this fight will end up being a no contest as both Scorpion and Spider-Man get rushed by a bunch of the Carnage drones from Ravencroft Asylum. Their target is Mac Gargan, who you'll remember was actually one of the replacement Venoms when Eddie had lost the suit there for a little bit. Which means that the Scorpion has one of those sweet buttery symbiote codexes right at the base of his spine, and these drones are going to stop at nothing to bring it back to their master. This means that Miles went from actively fighting against the Scorpion to fighting to try and protect him from getting dragged down by these horrifying creatures. A bit of goodwill that Scorpion does not re-extend to Miles. After all, symbiote drones are kinda like bears. I don't have to outrun it, I just have to outrun you. And Gargan might very well have gotten away with this plot too, were it not for the late intervention of Venom. You'll recall this is what happened at the tail end of Absolute Carnage issue number 2, and how these series are now hooking up. In another nice bit too of Saladin amid referencing the Ultimate Universe without really referencing the Ultimate Universe, Miles says that seeing Venom again stirs up a bunch of memories in him that he doesn't quite understand. You'll recall that Miles' mother was actually killed by the Ultimate Venom symbiote before she was eventually resurrected at the end of Secret Wars. Another fact you may or may not know about Miles is that despite all the different symbiotes that have been swinging around the Spider-Man universe, he's never actually gotten one himself, until one is forced upon him right now. You see, all the Carnage drones, led by an even crazier than normal Norman Osborn, end up overwhelming poor Miles. He gets sucked down, and before you can say horrifying transformation, he's horrifyingly transformed. Now that's pretty gross, but the crazy part is that judging by some concept art that's floating around the internet and covers for later books, Miles is only gonna get worse from here as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Absolute Carnage, Miles Morales issue number 1, everybody, and overall I thought it was a fun, enjoyable, workman-like little time. And do you need to read it to understand what's going on in Absolute Carnage? No, not really. But if this seemed like a story you might enjoy, and especially if you're already reading Saladin Amid's Miles Morales book, then I think you could do a lot worse than picking this one up. Overall, I'd give it a 7.5 out of 10. Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing me right now, it means you watched to the end of the video, of which I will always be appreciative of. It really helps with retention and all that other good YouTube stuff. If you really like my work, you can check me out on social media. I have links down in the description of the video you're watching right now to all my different socials. I got the Twitter, I got the Instagram, I got the Facebook. I'm very easy to be reached, and if you follow me there, you can be the first to know about when a new video goes live. And with that, I will bid you all adieu. Bye-bye.